Well, hello and welcome. I'm glad that you're with us as we now wrap up the book of Joshua in our chronological read through of the Bible. Considerable time has passed since our last reading, not necessarily between us, but with respect to the book of Joshua. All of Israel has returned to their homes. The land is experiencing peace. Joshua is now old. His last days are near. So he summons the leaders of Israel to give them his charge before departing, before returning to his fathers. He reminds them of all that God has done for them. He reminds them that they are not to mix with the peoples of the land, but to drive them all out. He reminds them that God has done everything for them that he said he would, but that they need to be aware that just as surely as God punished the people of the land, so also he would punish Israel for disobeying and breaking his covenant. Joshua then adjures them not to chase after other gods, lest they be driven off the land, just as those who had come before them, just as those that Israel herself had now driven and was finishing driving off the land. All the tribes gathered together at Shechem. There, Joshua briefly recounts the history of Israel, from the calling of Abraham to the exodus from Egypt to the conquest of the promised land. He reminds them that God would not allow them to be cursed. Remember when Balaam tried to curse them, but God would not allow that to happen. He reminded them how God fought for them to remove the inhabitants from the land. He reminded them how God gave them the land set up already with vineyards and fields and buildings, ready for them just to move in and harvest right away. So Joshua then placed before them a choice: to serve God and live, or to serve other gods and die. The people, of course, resoundingly said that they would serve God and live, to which Joshua replies, but you can't do it. He warned them that they would forsake God, that they would break his covenant, that they would transgress his will. The people insisted, no, we will serve only God. So Joshua tells them that they are witnesses against themselves in this matter. They must put away all other gods and incline their hearts only to Yahweh. They made a covenant, and then each went home to their own inheritance. The book of Joshua closes by reporting the death of Joshua at 110 years old. It speaks of how Israel served the Lord during the days of Joshua and during the days of the elders who outlived Joshua and knew what God had done for her. The book reports how the bones of Joshua are buried at Shechem as promised long ago. And then last but not least, it reports the death of the high priest Eleazar, the son of Aaron. So the book closes. And when the book closes, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed on God's promise to Abraham that he would be the father of a nation, and that nation would live in the land that God had taken Abraham to go to so long ago. Though Abraham was a sojourner in the land, his descendants are now a nation in that land, just as God had promised. Well, that concludes the book of Joshua. When we gather next, we will begin looking at the book of Judges. As always, I pray that you are growing and learning from your time in God's Word. May God be with you now and bless you.